All right. Um, Dorothy, if you would be so kind as to also give me an idea.
Sure. Oh, that was close.
All right. With that, you remember that you left some bandages and some cleaning supplies at your house.
Yeah, she would totally have a first aid kit.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's going to
dear.
be at your house if you can swing by there.
Which is connected to the library?
Yeah, but you guys are in the Boston Globe right now.
Yeah. Well, dearie, if you don't mind stopping by my place, I have a first aid kit I think would be really good to have. You know, you just never know if someone could fall down the stairs or get a splinter.
Well, I'm living next to the campus, so we are basically neighbors, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Why, who's driving?
It's my car, I drive.
Yes. Give me your keys.
Would you get the door for me, sweetheart?
Yeah, I will actually hold the umbrella for you and open the door for you and be a gentleman. Since we couldn't have the discussion last time, O'Doyle, right? So, how are you involved with Mr. Knott?
How am I involved in what?
With Mr. Knott?
Oh, Mr. Knott. Every time you say his name, it throws me off.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we can.
Yes, no.
That is so weird.
It's just every once in a while it just cuts out. It might just be your signal.
Let's just say I know a prospective buyer. Mr. Knott's listening.
Oh. But do you know how much the property is worth?
I believe the figure he quoted was $90 million.
Oh, goodness.
I raised an eyebrow. This seems a bit off.
Yeah, I
You
know.
think? Okay. Well, he promised me 10% of that price, so I wouldn't mind, but I kind of doubt that.
Oh, you say that out loud?
Yes.
Cormac will remember that. So you guys are pulling off, rain hitting, sun beginning to set, and the first place you pull up to is Greta's house.
Dorothy's house.
Sorry. Dorothy's house. In front of Dorothy's house is a lawn gnome. And not like most lawn gnomes, this one is a cute and adorable little female lawn gnome. The shrubbery is actually buried a little bit deeper to the ground or a little bit shorter, but it's pretty good. Unfortunately, behind her is a broken 6-foot scarecrow. Looks like it used to be a scarecrow. You have no idea. Maybe it had a sword, but at this point, it's just kind of on the ground.
Yeah, in the house she goes.
All right. As you go into the house,
I suppose we just wait in the car.
I mean, you're welcome to come in if you would like.
Yeah, but it depends on how long you want to be in there. Like, what's your plan? Like,
Go in, grab the things, come back out?
Yeah, we just stay in the car.
Oh, it's that newfangled contraption. She picks it up. Hello?
on the phone is a very confused bridge partner of yours. Apparently, your brother-in-law swung by and gave her your phone number.
That's you, Chelsea. Chelsea.
I was on mute. Classic. Sorry, guys, I wasn't totally listening.
You are calling me. That's all. That's it. You're calling me. That's it. Nothing fancy.
Accent to give myself.
So, Dorothy, you're yelling into the phone. For a few seconds before you realize you're yelling into the hearing. Actually, did you guys walk in with?
And she's like, hello? Hello?
So if you guys walked in with her, then you know that she is doing this wrong.
Dorothy.
What?
Dorothy.
Oh, Miss Mickey, let me help you out here, and I fix it for her.
Oh, thank you, darling. Yeah, hello?
Dorothy?
Mavis!
Were you speaking into the wrong thing again?
Listen, I hate these newfangled contraptions.
Are they really that new in 1920?
No.
Oh, girl, I heard the craziest thing about the library.
It has been insane. Someone got hurt. It was awful. And then his head went, woo, and it landed right in front of me.
Gross.
I know, and there's blood on my porch.
Well, did you get any help washing it?
Well, I have a handsome young professor here who just might help.
Handsome? How handsome?
Well, I don't want to kiss and tell, but... Oh, you must come down. Are you familiar with the author, Victoria Corbett?
He's cutting in and out. But yes! Totally! I'll be right there. I was there as soon as handsome man.
Wonderful.
Great!
Oh, dearie. Yeah, let's meet up. You know what, dearie? Stay right where you are. We'll swing by and pick you up.
Oh, okay.
So just like somebody's grandma, you bring them in the car to go to the store real quick, and then suddenly you realize you're with her for 2 hours as she goes and makes all of her stop.
Yeah, gets in the car. Dearie, I need to make a stop if you don't mind.
Well, I do, but where at?
Oh, well, my bridge partner, Mavis, she's a big fan of Victoria Corbett, you see, and I really think she would love to see this house.
A regular field trip, huh? All right.
More the merrier.
Okay, so with the exception of Mavis, I would like a spot hidden from all three.
I already know there's a guy behind the curtains.
Not gonna hide from me in my library.
Nope.
Yes. See, I know he's there.
All right, so Dorothy, as you come out the corner of your eye, not even a corner of your eye, you see this pretty well. You see two people in identical, you wouldn't call them suits, but it looks like a suit and it looks like it has a long tail on it, something like a robe. The cleanup was gone pretty well on the front of your library, and these guys don't look like they were there for the cleanup, but they were taking a couple of pictures, and it looked like they took a picture of Cormac's car. When they see you come out, they break into a run and they seem to run away. Cormac, you turn into your mirror and you see some weird guys in robes, and it looks like they're taking a picture of your license plate. As soon as Dorothy walks out, you see them break into a run.
Do they get into a car?
No, they kind of just run around the corner. Like, you guys would be, let's say this is your car for right now. So you guys are right there. You see them, and they run from here, just in this direction.
Okay. Well, I think I would tap my burly, handsome professor man and be like, "Oh, look! Go get them!"
Jonathan, you don't see a damn thing.
You were cut off there. Well, I'm looking. Can I see anything?
I mean, he's being told they're there now, though. Well, fuck! I'm gonna go after him.
Well, when I see that she sets off, I will just run after her with the umbrella, trying to shelter her from the rain.
So, just to be clear, I am in a different car, right?
Yes.
I told them to
your
get
car
rid
is
of
the car that you ran somebody over with is absolutely in the Atlantic Ocean.
Miss McGee, where are you going?
Oh, there were some rascally snoopers.
Okay, I'm just running where she's heading and seeing if I can.
I imagine she's just kind of moving briskly.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I stop now?
Oh, I don't like this music.
What would I?
Actually, that's a little rougher than I wanted. Hold on. That's the scarier change.
I mean, I'm imagining the 76-year-old woman hobbling down the road, shaking her umbrella. Come back here, you whippersnappers!
That could only take scary chase music.
My move rate is only 4. I'm pretty sure they'll outrun me.
Alright, yeah, they are moving at a pretty good clip. Cormac, you gonna help out?
I guess I would have gotten out of the car when I saw them try to follow.
Alright.
Can I see them now?
I mean, we're chasing them, right?
Yeah, you guys are chasing them. So... Alright, so both of them start running. We're just going to do this by dex rolls.
Okay.
Alright, with that, you break into a run. Dorothy's doing a pretty good job, but all three of you come out just like you were shot out of the cannon. These guys have no idea that they were going to be dealing with this type of speed. And I'm going to roll. All right, so it looks like you guys will be able to catch them.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a round.
What kind?
Dex.
Does not include
Oh, wow.
So you guys are about to get really close to them, and then just as soon as you stretch out, well, one of them passes. Let's see if the other one does too. Looks like you guys all kind of shoot at the same. You kind of trip over each other, not quite enough to fall, but it is enough for them to get away.
Okay, do we see anything? Do I notice anything? Okay, if they're getting away, did we at least get a good look at them?
Yeah, when you got closer, what you saw was men in hoods, but they did drop.
What
Would
did
it
they
be
draw?
possible to roll track?
Yeah, by all means.
Is there anything specific about their robes or their hoods or what that is? Is this like some? Does this look like some occult members or something like that?
So none of you guys have a cult yet, right?
Well, I have 30 points in occult.
Okay, you can go ahead and roll that. Don't punishment if you fail.
No.
Yeah. So I'll say that you see enough to know that these guys are not wearing raincoats. I don't believe you ran into any information about cults while you were in the library or the Boston Globe, right?
Well, we were like reading about the
Just the house.
No, we were actually reading about some I think church that got like shut down or something like that.
Okay, in that case, you did read about that church, and one of the guys drops a pamphlet right next to you, and you notice that this pamphlet mentions that very church.
Oh, I would just stop like pursuing them and pick that up. So it's not getting too wet in the rain.
I would open my umbrella now. I'm not running after someone.
When you read it, it gives an address for the church. I'm sorry, it gives an address, and it also gives an address saying that before we open our new church, we are going to go and dedicate, the old church where it was torn down. It says in 1 week, they're going to do some groundbreaking on the grounds of the church that they used to have.
And that address is as well.
Yeah. It's the same address. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Oh.
They're going to build the new church right over top where the old church was. Give me. Oh. All right, all of you guys roll English language. We're going to use this to bust a code.
Does that include me yet?
Yes, we're about to pick you up in a second, but
Yeah,
you
we
don't
need-
see.
Okay. English,
Yeah,
right?
you can roll it, sure.
So that's a blank box for me.
Oh, you didn't put anything in language on? Whatever your education is, that's what it equals. So you can write down your education into that number.
Nope. That's not happening.
Well, you are barely literate.
Rude.
So you guys look at it and you realize that there's a code here. See that the water has actually raised up these letters that have the address for what the new church says. But reading beyond that, you see that what it's supposed to say is celebrate as we open up a bright new hope, a place for infinite love, and get rid of the sins and the crimes of those that were there before us. So essentially, what the pamphlet is saying is that someone's going to build a new church in essence to get rid of the crimes of the previous church. However, Rainfall has removed that ink. You see the secret message that says that they are going to put their old church back on top of this new church. Basically, they're covering up the fact that they're reopening the old evil church as a new church.
Oh.
I mean, Dorothy's been around. Dorothy's been around. Go ahead.
Are we standing together now, right now? Like, if you all, like, are we looking at that together?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, sweetheart. She can get as close to you as she can.
Well, I point that out to the others and say, well, this seems very suspicious to me. These people are up to no good.
So, she's been around a long time. Would she know anything about that church? I mean, if she's been in this neighborhood for 70,
You know that they popped up in the news. You know that the police have been there. You also know that there was a fire there, it was a pit, and a lot of the place either exploded or sunk. You also know that you don't know any halfway decent people that went there.
Well, that place is filled with ruffians. And I'm not, look, we can go if you really insist, but we should pick up Mavis. She's quite handy with a gun.
Well, we wanted to go to the house, but I think now we should rather take a look at these people who are following us. That seems to be more pressing.
I'm not going anywhere without my bridge partner.
Okay. We can pick her up.
Or the old lady gets her way.
This might be very dangerous.
She's wonderful with a firearm.
Great. Maybe I should get mine then as well. Well, my house is only down the street here. Shall I just pick up my things before we leave?
Oh, yes, of course, dearie. Let's go.
Okay.
So, can we pick up the things and get the person?
Yeah, hold on.
He's still screaming.
Where the hell are you?
He's still screaming.
Fine. I will go figure out why you. Okay, yes.
Look, I will nurse him if he needs it, okay?
There you go. And we will put some more information on that later. Basically, what you see right now is, of course, this looks like two hearts that are interlocked. When you look closer, you also see that these hearts are locked by a symbol of infinity.
Yes.
With that said, the rain is starting to slow down, and you guys hop into the car on your way to the Maven.
To the what?
To meet Mavis.
Oh, we should grab my things before we actually go, because that is just around the street.
Oh, sure. Okay. So you drive past. I'm assuming Cormac's just like, if you guys don't decide where you're driving, we're driving into the ocean.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I will just go shortly into my my house, and since I think this might get dangerous, I actually get my old revolver that I have from the war, and put on some leather jacket and get some overcoat and a flashlight.
Beautiful. All right, so when you do that, you guys leave out, and it's about a 5 minutes drive to, give me a description of Mavis.
Me or someone else?
You.
Jesus Christ. She lives in a Victorian house she kept after her husband left her. Well, stole her job. It's a standalone in the city, few and far between in the city. Normally they're townhomes. The door is red and no pain. which makes the house very cold and drafty. Like,
God, these people suck. So
she's
much.
starting to forget things every once in a while. The roof is green. Mm-hmm.
I have gold in a
Slate.
I have that thing. With two.
Around porch.
All right. So, you guys pull up to that house, and at this point, because you guys have been talking about stuff, egghead stuff, for a pretty long time at this.
It went quiet. I don't know if that was on my end or.
Everyone's looking at the picture.
Oh. Okay.
So you guys pull up, and a middle-aged woman steps out onto the porch. Her name is Mavis. And if you'll be so kind as to describe Mavis for everybody.
Mavis is a charming lady. Her profession is a professional scrapbooker by people to make their wedding photography books and the such. Retired head of graphics and art design from a local women's magazine company, forced to retire. Husband stole her job. She's bridge partners with Dorothy and met after her husband took her job and became a frequenter of Dorothy's library. Still married but estranged, but that doesn't stop her from looking. And raised abroad in Montreal before her mother died and moved to Boston. And so she is bilingual, English and French. But her father would have preferred to have a son, so he taught her about boy activities like machines and weaponry. And in the last 6 months or so, she started to experience infrequent episodes of senility. She's getting a little senile and forgetful.
Perfect place for it. All right. So the red car pulls up in front of your house, and a well-groomed 30-something-year-old professor steps out with umbrella in hand. There's still some sprinkles. He smiles warmly and approaches your.
I'm totally leaning out of the front seat with my hand on my hat and waving at her with a wink.
First I open the door with, yes, can I help you?
Oh, Miss Mavis Karen, is this right?
Yes.
Well, my name is Jonathan Price. I'm here with your bridge friend. She's in the car.
Oh. I then proceed to look over his shoulder over at Dorothy, who's waving ridiculously from the car window. Like, oh, hi. And it clicks why he's there. Like, oh, all right. Well, what are we gonna go do now?
Well, I think plans just changed, but we can explain this better in the car if you would like to follow us.
Will I need my coat? Out.
Yeah, probably. That's a good idea.
Bring your gun, dearie.
I have a real question now. So whenever I was rolling the character, I don't have any gear right now, so I'm not sure how that works.
Just come up with stuff that's reasonable. Like, you probably have a coat.
Yeah, that's totally my bad because I don't know.
Okay, so I don't even know what kind of weapons are typical for the 1920s. So I'm going to say some kind of shotgun, right?
What?
Did you take shotguns,
Tommy
rifles,
gun.
or did you take handguns? It doesn't matter because you can switch it over to shotgun if you want.
Well, she was taught both. She's better with rifles, so I would say she brings a hunting rifle.
Tommy
All
gun?
right.
I mean, would you go out of the house with a gun with just knowing that we want to look into some author is a question, I would say.
We actually do have a link to weapons. If you go on Discord, where it says links and rules, the very last thing that's pinned there is a weapon chart.
Weapon chart, all right. Ooh, so many choices. Handguns, rifles.
That is my kind of person.
All right. Oh, goodness. So many sexy choices. Ooh, let's do probably, well, let's see.
Where would quilting needles, crochet needles be on here?
I would probably roll them as some form of dag.
Knitting needles, yeah. She would have those.
Yeah. Okay, what's the last common and era? Cost. Do I need to buy this, or is it just?
No, we're fine. Everybody else already owned their weapon coming in. You already owned yours coming in.
Okay, so I just have to pick it. Choices, like crazy choices. I don't know what this number means.
I think I guess a small knife, a fighting knife.
Yeah, I mean, get something simple. Trust me, the idea in this game is not to get into too many fights.
Yeah, no, if you're relying on me to fight, you're in trouble.
Take the elephant gun.
For like 40 minutes.
The bolt action rifle, that seems like something that would definitely be 1920s. And it's good, got decent distance. What does that mean? Bullets and rounds.
Winchester lever
Attacks per
action.
round. Per round mean? What does round in this case mean?
Yeah, here all it means is once we are in a fight, if that happens, every time you have a turn, it'll tell you how many times you're allowed to shoot. And with that, you would just roll however many times they tell you is possible. So if you have something that has 3 attacks per round, you'd be able to roll attack 3 times.
Okay. Okay. I don't even know what this is. Lee Enfield? I gotta Google this real quick. Lee Enfield?
That's a big rifle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a World War I rifle. So
Oh,
if you pull one of them out, Jonathan would definitely be like, "Oh yeah, I use it." Well, I know they use them in the States. I don't know if England uses
Yeah,
them.
she pulled that out, he'd be like, okay, she really is good with a gun.
We did not use the Enfield in the British Army.
oh goodness, no. Yeah, I'll stick with the bolt action rifle, the 3006 action rifle.
All right, that's beautiful. I just need you. Whenever you fire it, you have to go.
Okay.
I don't know how to make those sounds.
What's that?
That was terrible.
All right. So, are you guys? Does everybody have whatever equipment they want? Be it weapons, first aid kits, food, any tools, anything?
Yeah, you should bring a flashlight. as well. It's
Oh,
probably.
yeah, I thought you went to your house to get a flashlight, didn't you?
No, I'm saying that to Chelsea, that she has one as well. If she's running around with a gun, then she should probably also run around with a flashlight.
Okay, so I have that ring with the symbol that is the Eye of Knowledge, and I've got the first aid kit, and then my knitting needles.
Okay.
All right, Cormac, are there any weapons that you need? Any tools you
I don't believe so, but I don't know what damage brass knuckles would have.
What is your damage bonus now? Do you have a damage bonus?
I do. It's plus 24.
All right. So plus 1d4. I would say do your 1d4 and put a plus 1 on it.
Yeah.
So regular unarmed is a 1d3 plus my damage bonus, right? So you're saying do a 1d4 plus 1 and damage bonus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brass knuckles is damage 1d3 plus 1 plus dB.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so I was right. Cool.
Is it actually on the chart? Sorry.
Yeah, it's on the chart. Like, it's not on the chart that you linked, but it's on the chart in the actual core book. Like, there's a hand-to-hand weapon chart.
So you said that.
Yeah, I thought I saw it somewhere.
Would knitting needles qualify as a small knife or a fighting knife?
That would be a small knife.
Okay, so then it is base starting skill of 25, 1d4 plus dB.
Yeah.
You do not have a damage bonus this.
No, I have a -1.
All right. So that being said, you guys have your equipment. Are you guys heading to the house, or does somebody want to check out this old church?
Well, I think with the recent events, we should check out the church.
Dorothy's forgotten about the church, and she's totally having lots of fun. It does not care where you go.
Mavis is like, where are we going? Why are we bringing this thing? She sets it, gets in the car and sets it.
All right. I need Jonathan to convince Cormac to drive to an old abandoned church.
Well, do you not want to go there yourself?
You want me to drive where?
Well, to this church where these people were obviously trying to follow us. I mean, they seem to know that we are looking into that.
We're looking into the Corbett house, not religion.
Well, we found the connection to this in our research.
In your research.
Well, the papers that we were looking up at the Globe.
Oh, okay. All right, Teach, I'll drive you there, but you owe me one.
Well, I mean, I think if someone is trying to scare people away from the Corbett house, it might be these people.
I suppose we'll see.
So, what is left of an old church stands at the end of a crooked, dingy street. The ruins are so weathered and overgrown with greenery that the gray stone rubble seems more like natural stone than the former walls and foundation. You pass a slumping wall, buried in white painted symbols, apparently freshly swabbed. 2 hearts, interlocked in an infinity. In the center, a staring eye.
Is the eye similar to the Eye of Knowledge?
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks familiar.
And that is a church of contemplation, right?
Correct.
Yeah. We found that in the Hall of Records, like we found a clue towards this.
Yeah, on the ground you find a broken sign that part of a words you can see, of course, you see a C and an H. And on another part of a broken sign, you see part of a word contemplation. Okay, I don't know if your move is going to come into play here, but this is a gridded map. Excuse me. In the event that it does, your token is 1 square. Each square is 1 movement save. But as long as you're not doing anything, like that's not action oriented, like running from a boulder or chasing someone, you can move as freely as you need. And I'll let you know when it becomes relevant.
I am studying the area. Can I spot hidden to see if there's anything weird or dangerous? That eyeball is awful familiar, so I'm very curious.
Okay. Give me a spot hidden, whoever wants to. Just Dorothy? Oh, okay. Good.
I guess it's good I succeeded.
All right. So, Dorothy, you see a few things. It's just some tools. You see some old bullet casings. You also see where it looks like, I don't know, some child has come in who didn't really know how to draw hopscotch, so they just drew some random circles and triangles in the dirt instead.
I would like to look at the random triangles.
Of course. While you do that, Jonathan, you notice several sets of fresh footprints. And with that high of a spot hidden, you recognize, or you think you recognize because you read too many detective novels, that these are approximately the same size footprints as the people who you chased.
Well, I go down on my knees and like not on my knees, but like kneel down and look at them closely.
Can't mess up the suit. I love that. If there was a such thing as inspiration in this game, I would give it to you.
Dorothy's not looking at the squares in the dirt anymore.
All right, I apologize. Yeah, you're looking at these. The one thing you notice is if these are children, they've drawn some pretty daggone intricate circles and triangles. These things look like they were drawn with a compass and a ruler.
Is this like in the dirt, just like in the mud, or is this...
Yeah. So this is in the front section where you guys are right now. As you look forward, you'll notice that there's really not much of a church here. In fact, you see a hole, and you see a hole right here where the church used to be.
I'm just looking around and say, are we at the right address?
Oh, yes, this is it. I mean, she grew up in the area. She would know if this was the right spot.
Where's the church?
Oh, well, it burned down, or it sunk, or there's an explosion. Mavis, do you remember what happened to that church?
Oh, yes, dear. Well, the pastor was touching little boys again. Oh. And so, of course, Daddy. Why am I Southern? She's from Montreal. I don't know how to do this accent. Okay.
I do not know what this is about. What is this problem?
The sad part is we actually have Canadian within our group of friends too.
Yeah.
Don't forget to say
So
boots.
we actually have Canadian.
Could I take a look at the drawings and see if they have some occult background?
Sure. Go ahead and roll occult.
Awesome.
Alright, so he's studying that. Oh,
that's so close.
okay.
Oh, so close.
So he's studying that. And we'll just say this. You look at it for a little while. You're starting to get a headache. You're having a difficult time placing it exactly. Something's here, but it's tough. And like I said, you're starting to get a headache. Cormac, what are you doing?
Are those stairs?
Kind of. Yes. They are broken. They're not exactly sturdy, but they are stairs.
Can I shine the flashlight down there?
You absolutely may.
Do I see anything?
Yeah. So you look on the remains of a chapel. You find a few blocks of granite. Looks like there's some old burned timbers and some ancient rubbish. You also notice that you aren't necessarily, right when you get to the edge, you notice that that's not solid ground anymore. It looks like it is between solid ground, some overgrown grass, and some really unsturdy floorboard.
Lovely.
You are also starting to get a headache.
But I'm not?
You start to see Cormac and Jonathan rub their heads a little bit, and it dawns on you that you are starting to get a
How about Mavis?
Am I? I don't know.
Matter of fact, Mavis, have you stepped onto the property yet?
No, I'm at the back of the group. She doesn't really know why she's there. She's just hanging out with Dorothy. She's leading herself.
All right. Are you in a car or are you on the ground?
I'm out of the car, but maybe just barely.
Do you want to drag
Okay.
your token on?
Oh, sure. I almost dragged yours on here again. Well, where did the car come from? Back here?
Yeah. All right, so when you get up there, you get a little bit closer to Jonathan, and I don't know, you didn't actually remember to have your afternoon gin and tonic, and you start to feel yourself getting a little bit of a headache.
Oh dear, I think I'm having those whiskey withdrawals.
It's probably the weather.
My head is really just pounding. You young boys don't mind taking this from here, right?
Of course, Miss Key.
Cormac, before you leave, you notice that down at the bottom of the stairs, there's a cabinet with a not so strong but new lock.
You said there were. You said there were footprints, right? Like, where are these footprints actually leading to?
It looks like the footprints are just coming up. They lead towards the pit.
Oh, okay. I would then go there.
All right, guys. Cormac and Jonathan, if you would be so kind as to give me a spot. Oh, and Mavis, if you have any checks on your sheet right now, uncheck them. We put the checks on after you succeed at a roll. When you get to the end of the scenario or the story, those are things you're allowed to try to level up. So I don't know if there's any rolls you succeeded at yet. If so, you can keep that check. Otherwise, take the rest of the checks out. And anybody else who may have gotten a new success, of course, go ahead and put a check next to that area.
Can I hear anything from here? Like from...
That would be a listen. Both of you guys, though, do see that there's a rope that's hidden underneath some of the leaves.
Oh, a rope?
Yeah. So you're listening. You can't hear anything but just some ambient noise coming up from the...
Yeah.
You do check the rope. It looks like it's sturdy. It's tied pretty tightly. It looks like they are using this either to climb down as opposed to using the stair.
I wave forward to the ladies to come closer.
Dorothy's not one to be shy. Did you find anything interesting, dearie?
Well, here's a rope that leads down. Maybe your friend could give us cover in case we get ambushed by these ruffians.
Mavis!
What's up, girl?
You bring that gun over here.
What's up, girl?
Yeah, I still don't know what's happening, Dorothy.
These men were following me, and they took pictures of my library, and we need to know who they were and why they were here, and I think that there's something going on, and I knew that nobody could do this like my dear friend Mavis, who's so good with those guns.
A library? But why?
Well, I don't know, and we're gonna find out. I'm training to become a spy.
Okay, so I uncheck everything under investigator skills, correct?
Yeah, except for anything that you've already passed. I think you passed English or whatever. Yeah, I think you passed English language.
Yeah, she passed a language own check.
Okay.
So you can put the check there back. Other than that, we'll just keep track of any time I ask you to roll a skill. If you succeed, go ahead and mark that check mark. Okay, guys, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you decide whether you want to take the stairs or whether you want to take the rope. And because I'm a kind person, I will let you roll your climbing skill first to see whether or not you feel comfortable even trying the rope.
I'm doing it. No, I'm kidding, I'm not. Don't look at me. Mavis can do it. She's got this.
Ooh.
All right, Mavis and Jonathan, you both may put a check mark next to your climbing rolls.
I'm so happy. I actually made a roll.
And of course, you guys can go ahead and climb on down. Cormac?
Oh, you said there was a cabinet, right?
Yeah, way at the bottom.
Oh, all the way at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, there's not a cabinet up here.
All right. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. Nope.
All right, so you see these two fairly light individuals. They just zip down the rope. You look at Dorothy. You look at this rope again. You stare into the sky. You say, my big ass is not going down that rope. Do you want to take the stairs, or are you going to stay up here and watch?
Well, I'll take the stairs, dearie. I'm pretty small. I'm sure it's fine.
All right.
All right.
I'll take the stairs.
So you guys are both taking the stairs?
I'm staying up top. I don't trust it.
All right. So you'll stay up top and watch. That's fine. All right. So with that said, Dorothy, you start to go down the stairs. I would like okay, so the other two of you reach the bottom pretty quickly. When you get there, you hear creaks on the floorboards. You know that it's not exactly completely 100% stable. Dorothy, you are walking down the stairs.
I think I would also be near the edge, like where the stairs are on the stringer. If that makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. All right, Dorothy, please give me a dodge roll.
Can I like shine the light for her so that she might have it easier?
Yes. All right, Dorothy. So he shines the light, and that's going to go ahead and give you advantage and let you try this dodge roll again. Good job. So he shines the light, and you notice that there is a huge spider web that you are about to walk face first into with a huge, very much alive spider in it. However, he shines a light, it sparks off the spider web, you're able to duck, you don't get the spider web, and you don't fall all the way down the stairs. Yay for you.
Yay!
That's actually literally good because I didn't think you had a chance of avoiding that. Make sure you thank Jonathan in the morning. All right, so you guys are all on the floor right now. You see a few pews. You see even more bullet casings. And it looks like you see some marks where there's no such thing as fire or arson. We'll just go ahead and do general knowledge checks. Matter of fact, no, we're not even going to do that. We'll just let you have this one. We don't need to miss it. You notice that it looks like these fires were probably set on purpose. The reason you believe that is you see a giant can that used to have gasoline on it and several matches around it.
Can you describe like how it looks like? Is this just a hole? Like, is this just one single room, or like how does this?
Yeah, it's a sanctuary.
Okay.
For the most part. Oh, I'm so sorry. We're going to move you guys up to the upper portion of the map. I apologize. Oh, you've already done it. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a single room. There is a cabin. Trust me.
I only heard that as a cabin and then cut off. What?
No, I said there's a cabinet here. Trust me.
Oh,
What
yeah.
language is that? Would I recognize it?
That's an excellent question, which I will answer in 1 second.
I mean, I know Latin and English.
In that case, and I'm not even making this up. This is Latin, but you see it just says, it just has the name of a church written in Latin on the floor.
Oh, okay. Well, I can read that then as well. Right. Yeah.
What does it say? What's the church name?
Oh gosh, the Church of Contemplation. Yeah, it's Church of Contemplation.
Just saying. Roll the 3.
How can I miss that?
We will save that 3 for a few seconds, depending on what you do. I'll let you keep it. With that said, you notice a cabinet. It's the same cabinet that Cormac saw from up.
Well, and you said it's locked?
Well, I said that to Cormac.
Well, what do I see?
Okay, give me a luck roll first off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you walk, you step onto one of the boards and it falls completely to the ground. Half a second after you stepped on.
Oh, goodness.
When that hole comes down,
Bless you.
Bless you.
bless you, yes. You see when that hole comes down, actually, I apologize. I'd also need luck rolls from Jonathan
I'm
and
so
Maeve.
hot. Yes. Uh-oh. Let him dodge!
Mavis?
Dodge, man! Dodge!
Luck roll. It's supposed to be off. Oh, no. JK.
It's below your hit points. So it's above investigator
Roll.
skills.
Yeah,
on the
it's
left.
above the skills. It's kind of like to the left of where it says Call of Cthulhu. Huzzah!
All right, Mavis, you're good. Jonathan, I need a jump roll.
A jump. Okay. Oh my god.
Oh.
Push it, man!
Okay, you can try to push it. How are you going to push this if you want to push it?
Wait, can you tell me what happens?
Oh, yeah. The same time when Mavis steps onto the one board, it starts to crack. At the same time as Dorothy steps on one, that starts to crack. You see both of those fall. And as you're standing right in between them. And the entire circle that's kind of around you starts to crack. And you realize you are in the middle of a circle that's starting to plummet down towards the basement or floor below.
Okay, so I actually have my bullwhip, so I use my bullwhip to grab some.
All right, so that's your push. I will say this. This is your push. You're trying to do the bullwhip, which means you are doing it towards the best solid object you see, which happens to be the cabinet that Dorothy is standing next to.
Yes, can I actually roll on my whip?
Let's see. Let's put these together. We will let you roll your whip and jump together, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, that worked? And the whip.
I mean, success 18, you know.
Oh, it's always so close. Oh, well, the whip didn't work, but the jump worked this time.
All right. So you do push it. You do jump. You fail on your whip, but overall it's a success. Blah, 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 blah. And you managed to jump just in time. Almost hit Dorothy with the whip, but you make it just in time to roll to the side and not fall down into the pit. Roll a D2.
A D2, okay.
Yeah, just put in RD2 or R1D2.
I just rolled a D4 and take the half of that.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's 2.
All right, cool. 2 hit points.
Okay. All right.
Are you okay, dear?
Well, yes, it seems I was a bit clumsy.
Oh, look, you've got a scratch. I am going to pull out my first aid kit and put on iodine and a Band-Aid like a proper grandmother would.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll first aid for me.
Okay.
All right, that's good stuff. I believe that is 1 point back.
Oh, this is McGee. That's so nice of you. Thank you.
Okay, so Cormac, you have your flashlight, and they can see too. You can shine your flashlight right down to them, and you can see that the falling part of a floor is now revealing part of a basement that was sealed off from the rest.
Maybe.
Originally, it was reached by a separate set of secret stairs. Now, those stairs are buried under tons of rubble. Within this room, next to another cabinet. This one, however, is open.
Wonderful.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dorothy. When the floor did fall, it looks like when he hit it with the whip, the cabinet, it did fall into the pit as well.
Oh, sad day.
It's smashed open though.
Well, what's in it?
2 skeletons dressed in a silk patterned robes.
Oh my.
So, does anybody want to make their way down to this?
This seems
Do the ropes have any?
ill-advised.
Sorry.
Just this seems ill-advised.
Do the ropes have any symbols on them?
No, they're normal ropes.
Okay.
Jonathan, point your flashlight down there. I want to see what I can see. Like, really stare at it.
Yeah, I put the flashlight to work and look around. And
Yes.
All right. I will let all four of you, while you're looking, do a spot hidden.
Ah! I'm so good at that, too.
like the worst rolls today. Oh my god.
Hey!
And I'm all the way up here.
Well, it's because you've got youngin's eyeballs.
And Mavis, can I get that spot hidden from you as well?
Yeah. It's under fuck.
Yeah, it's under skills.
It's the top skill on the right-hand column.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh.
You'll get used to that one. Oh, gosh. Okay, so Cormac, you are a man. People say you're not the smartest guy in the world, but what you are is a person who knows opportunity when you see it. So when you use your flashlight, you notice that there's a really old leather-bound book with some weird crap on it, and you notice that there's some sort of tome, like a journal.
All right. Well, since they seem so helpless, I guess I have to go down.
Okay. Go ahead and use the stairs. You already know where the spider web is. I'm not going to make you.
So I guess I'll just wander over and pick it up.
Well, there's still a matter of getting down into the hole. It looks like that hole is it's 10 feet.
10 feet? That's not bad.
That's a lot for a little old lady.
All right.
Is there any other boards sturdy here? Like sturdy enough to hold a person?
The rope that you actually climb down here with, you notice that there is another set of ropes, and those look like they're tied off a fairly new. You also see the same footsteps or partial footsteps made in the dust over there, dust in the air.
Well, then let's put the rope down and try to climb, I would say.
All right. I will let whoever wants to do this, because you've taken the time to make sure it's sturdy, you may roll climbing at advantage. Matter of fact, let it go. Let's see what happens.
Well,
Look, 2 30s and I still failed.
well, same here.
I was much closer.
All right. So before we get to Mavis and Cormac, I need both Dorothy and Jonathan to roll me a
Same luck.
luck.
Oof.
All right, Dorothy, you don't climb perfectly. You burn your hands a little bit on the rope, but you manage not to fall.
Huzzah!
Same thing, Jonathan. You both manage not to hurt yourselves. All right, so Cormac and Mavis.
Yeah?
I did it.
Wait, how far
wow.
is Cormac climbing from? My goodness.
And Mavis, when you get a chance, go ahead and give me a climbing roll. Cormac, you rappel down this rope. Like you tie it right underneath your elbow, you kick off the side, and you just slide and go, land in a 3-point stance at the bottom. And maybe you can roll that one more time on your climb. Mavis, you are feeling yourself because if this guy can do it, you can do it.
She's
And
a
you do the
gazelle.
same thing.
Am I a whippersnapper?
So yeah, both of you see your two friends there. They pull a few splinters off of themselves. They're dusty, but you guys land perfectly. Shake your heads at them. So, Cormac, you do see this old journal and this old book. It is written in Latin. Not that you know that.
Yeah, I just hand it to Jonathan and I tell him I can't read.
Oh, what's that? Is it a book?
Yeah, it's a book and a tome. Do either of you have your Latin over 50%?
I'm at exactly 50.
Okay.
That's 30.
Yeah, 30? Okay, so the only person who's going to be able to try to read this is Dorothy. Unless Mavis.
I read the shit out of that.
Are you serious? Oh,
Yeah.
god damn. All right. So, the musty old journal starts to fall to pieces as you turn the pages, but the name Walter Corbett catches your eyes. An entry records that Walter Corbett was buried in the basement of his house, in accordance with his wishes and with the wishes of that one who waits in the dark.
I mean, she would read this aloud to them, I think. And then look up to see if there's anyone in the dark.
Yeah, I just want to hear Dorothy say that one that waits in the dark.
In accordance with his wishes and with that one that waits in the dark?
I'm sorry, it should have been that one who waits in the dark.
That one who waits in the dark.
Have I heard of that terminology before?
Let's say that the only time you've heard of it was from your friend when he gets on his drunken kicks and starts going into his mumbo jumbo talk.
Okay.
Is there someone here? Because she would totes look up and be like, one in the dark, where?
Your voice echoes and bounces off the walls, but there is nobody here, apart from your partners. Alongside the journal is an enormous volume, handwritten in Latin, but so rotten and wormy that whole sections can no longer be understood. The tome is a copy of the Liber Ivonis. So a quick look at it will show you that it is in Latin, and it deals in a matter of occult nature. So with that initial reading, you'll be able to read this book whenever you get about 3 hours time. So just remember that you passed that. Especially with that extreme, I'm actually going to knock that down to 1.5 hours time. You're going to be able to read that. And when you do, something good will happen when you get 1.5 hours to try to read it.
So I'm taking it with me then?
That's up to you.
I mean, I would want to sit and read it now. But maybe once I got in the car, don't get.
We'll just say that you think about reading it now when you start hearing creaks and shuffling of this building.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'm
think I
also
would.
saying we probably should treat that carefully, not that it crumbles away.
She
like the other
gives
book.
him a very withering look. I am a librarian, sir. I know how to handle books.
Also, just because this is one of those times where it's perfect to say it, can I get a that belongs in a museum from?
Oh well, do I see what it is? Like with Mike, can I actually read that? Like what that
Yeah,
is?
you can see that this is not just Latin. This is some ancient Latin. You realize that some of these symbols and stuff definitely comes from before the Carbon era. You would
Well,
guess
then in that case,
about 200 BC.
well, in that case, I would say, well, this is not something that belongs to a library. This belongs into a museum.
Let's expect you to
Wow. You listen here, young sir. I know my books, and I have known them longer than you've been alive, so I will thank you to remember that.
But we should probably discuss this when we are on our way. Can I make a listen check and see if we said there's some cracking around us?
I'm sorry, I was trying to cough up a lung. All right, you said you were asking about what were you looking for on the book?
No, I wasn't looking for the book. You said there's some crackings around us or something like that.
No, it's just that you hear the sounds that this building doesn't seem to be the most secure place in the world, and that this stuff could fall on you guys.
This building that nearly killed us twice entering is not secure.
We should probably get out of here.
Yeah, I was just basically giving Dorothy a clue that sitting down here and reading the book.
Bad idea.
Hey, it's up to you.
No, I'm taking the book with me.
Well, you said that we're 2 cabinets basically, right? So is that anything else here?
You don't see what I just wrote to Cormac, which I should have whispered to him.
Yes, that's fine.
And now in 1920, we use gold coins instead of dollars.
No. It's just that's literally what he found. Yes, you do use dollars like you're supposed to. Oh, Cormac, you actually do know what this is, by the way.
I mean, if it is what I think it is.
Yeah. No, you literally know what this is because one of your subordinates has a cowboy fetish.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. This is Old West Gold.
Oh.
We'll just say that it's worth something. You notice some of the pieces seem to have some blood splotches.
Nothing I haven't seen before, so I'll tuck them away.
Absolutely. You may roll stealth or sleight of hand.
I'm not a very stealthy man.
Whichever one. All right. You get those things right into your pocket, and nobody sees anything unless you can beat a hard spot hidden. But you don't even have a reason to try, so yeah, you got that.
Oh, come on.
All right, so we'll let you guys make your way out of here. You take your time. You get out safely. Where we?
I mean, as soon as I'm in that car, I'm leaving through that book. I'm a librarian? Come on.
I hold the light for you. That's super dark probably at this time.
But we are driving now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm driving to the old Corbin house now.
I don't suppose it's an hour and a half away in these old-timey cars.
Well, we should probably bring the book first to a secure place so it's not damaged.
I think you can leave it in the car. And if it's not an hour and a half away, we'll park out front. How's that sound?
Wonderful. I read the book. Teach me the magics.
Yeah, you remember what happened the last time you learned magic?
I brought all those fuckers down with me.
Yeah, with you.
It's only because I wasn't very strong.
All right, we're just gonna use.
Plus, you already told me something good would happen.
You're going down the winding roads.
Do what?
Give me a drive auto,
No.
Ben.
I watched 20.
Okay, so I still had a check mark on this from last session. Can I improve that before I roll?
We really should be waiting until the end of the session for it, but
It was from last session.
okay. Everybody, you know what? Yeah.
But
As a matter of fact, yeah.
Wait, do we actually improve after each session? I thought we improve after the
That's just a
story.
scenario, not the section. So it's supposed to be at the end of the scenario that you get to improve. But with that being said, and because you'll need it, you may all attempt to improve one thing that you succeeded at right. And the way you improve that is this. You have your number, whatever that number is, you roll your D100, and if you roll a number higher than what your skill is, then you improve it. So what that means is, if say your driving is a 30, Ben, I don't remember what it is. If you roll above whatever that number is, let me know, and then you roll a D10.
Okay, I will try to improve spot hidden.
Yeah, I think I'll try spot hidden as well.
Yay! I actually improved.
Hey, me too.
Nice.
So I need to roll the skill. That's what I heard, right?
Yes.
Roll a skill, and essentially if you fail, then you get to improve it by a D10.
By 1 die time.
Okay, honey.
Okay.
Nice.
So I have a 26.
Now that I have had him in my lap for an hour, it's someone else's turn.
So do I get to do that with all of my old skills?
Eventually.
Eventually.
But for right now, we'll let you do it on now.
So now I roll it to drive. So that's a 32.
All right. So, all right. So the car sputters a little bit. I mean, it is what it is. Wait, did you put your improvement on there already? Okay, yeah, you did at 26. So your car sputters a little bit. Give me a spot.
Alrighty.
Very good. All right. So you look and you notice that there is a black vehicle that is about a few blocks behind you. So you are here. And by here, I mean, hold on. Yeah, I know your face, not that. Fine, I'll be nice. And they are. And it looks like they are trying to keep their distance. Looks like you have a tail.
You're cutting off.
Looks like I have a tail.
Yeah, it looks like you have a tail.
We're both parked right now, right?
No. You were driving and you noticed that you have a tail.
Oh, okay.
So, would you like to try to push that driving roll?
I mean, the last time somebody failed a driving roll, someone got decapitated.
I know. Alright, so I guess I'll push it, but... Nope. It's a
Yeah, you
38.
try your best to move forward and lose them. Whatever reason, this new vehicle you have, it just doesn't move like your old truck used to move. And you kind of spin your tires out. You can hear or you can smell some of the tires burning, and it looks like these guys are keeping track of you. Let's see if they are.
Mr. O'Doyle, what are you doing?
Well, it looks like somebody's behind us.
Oh? So now that he's pointed it out, can we all look?
Absolutely.
Oh, come on.
You don't even need to spot hidden on this. You guys literally see that somebody's behind you. You see the black.
Yeah, but can we like make out who that is, maybe?
Yeah. You guys can't see the faces exactly, but you definitely see flashes of the
Flashes of what?
robes.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's those churchmen.
We both
Yeah,
suck at driving.
They try to fire up a little bit, and it looks like they can't get their vehicle under control either.
Can I wave? I want to wave.
How many fingers are you waving with?
5. I'm a lady, sir.
All right. So you turn around and wave, and you see one of them pull up a revolver.
Ooh, shit. I duck back in. They have a gun. There's guns.
I take out my revolver as well.
All right. So they fire the revolver at the tires. All right, Ben, I know you haven't succeeded on this yet. I will let you do a dodge roll or a drive roll.
You're gonna let me dodge in my car.
Yes.
Seems legit, and I still fuck it up.
That is bad.
Can I shoot at them, like at their tires at the same time?
You can try. Yes, you can try. With that dodge roll, Ben pulls hard to the side. So first thing I'm gonna need from you is a deck.
A dex, or what do you say? Sorry?
Yeah, give me a dex roll first. See if you can even stay steady to try to fire. Very nice.
Yes.
Okay. So you get a perfect opportunity to shoot their tires out. So I will let you roll this shot at advantage.
Nice. Okay. Good. Oh, that's a heart.
All right, that's actually a hard difficulty roll shot. You said you were going for the tires. You
Yes.
do hit their tires. Let's see. They need to pass a difficult driving. And they fail hard. You manage to shoot off their tire. They start to spin out. You can kind of see the car whip over, and it looks like it's crashing about a block away from the church. Yeah, the car flips onto its roof. Are you guys going to keep driving off? Or...
Well, no, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull over.
Oh, they could be hurt. I would pull out my first aid kit.
Fast, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
No, they could be hurt.
Well, I hope so. They just shot at us.
All right, well, quarterback, you're driving. What are you doing?
I'm pulling over.
All right. So you pull over, and we do have 2 cars.
I mean, I would be going over to make sure they're not dead. Are y'all still there?
Yep.
Yeah, I got really quiet.
It did.
Sorry. That was my fault because I quit talking and quit playing music. Alright, so pretending those guys are laid out on the ground.
Do they have sickles?
No.
Okay. Important question.
No, I'm serious. I would first aid the snot out of those boys and or girls.
I just make sure that like they don't grab their weapons or anything.
Alright, cool. So you're saying you kick, so you do the whole thing when you roll up, your revolver pointed at them, and you kick their guns away from them.
Yes.
And then this little old lady piles out of the car, pushing on her hat with flowers, and brushes with a bunch of bandages.
Down that bottom.
So are these guys conscious?
Barely. They're groaning, they're rolling around. You can see that they definitely have some head injuries. Looks like one of them has a broken leg. The other one definitely has a broken arm, indicated by the fact that his arm is back.
Wonderful.
I got a 30. I am totes going to help them.
Okay, so you do manage to split both of their arms. I'm gonna say this guy still screams out in pain because while you manage to split his arm, you completely forget about the bedside manner of making sure that it, it doesn't hurt that bad. As for you, Jonathan, this gives you a quick flashback. You've seen some of the hospitals. You've seen this type of carnage before. Doesn't bother you that much, but you do get a quick flashback of your time on the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
No sanity roll.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, that's a good question. What was your experience in the medical facilities while you're at the ward? Would this bring you to a bad flashback, or would the time right now let you kind of pump your way through?
Well, I think this is like not even close to what the injuries in the war were. Like I think like a car accident is like not even close to like what people get from like being shot to pieces and stuff like that. Like it's not like they're missing limbs or anything. But I'm fine if I'm rolling like the sanity roll.
So the only thing stopping you from saying out loud, oh my gosh, don't be a whiny little bitch, is the fact that you have two ladies in front of you.
Yeah.
There is no such thing stopping you. But yes, these guys are conscious, and at this point, they are not in danger of bleeding out.
So now that they're all splinted, she'd be all like, there, dearie, and like patting their knee like, it's okay.
What are you? Damn.
But you really should learn driving. This is like a really bad accident you had there.
Accident? You shot our tires out.
Well, I will remind you, sir, you flashed your gun first. She gives him her withering mom stare.
Seriously, Mercy.
Go ahead. Do what you wish. You won't find out anything from us.
Who said anything about are you okay?
They look absolutely confused. Excuse me?
Are you okay? Is there someone we can call?
Can I search them for identities cards or something like that? I'm not sure.
You may.
Okay.
You don't find any identity. You do find that same symbol from before. It looks like they have a few of those cards on them. They are not carrying identification, however.
All right, so good cop, bad cop. While she's making sure they're okay. Cormac is going to put his boot on the guy with the broken leg.
Oh my god.
This makes a lot more sense to him.
Now, who are you, and what the fuck is going on?
We're the Church of Contemplation. And what's going on here is something you small-minded people could never understand. The future. The future is going on here.
The future's always going on. So why don't you tell me something a little more specific?
Fine. To put it simply, we think we know what you're trying to do. All we ask is leave things as they are, and there could be a reward for it.
Well, I think you should have contemplated these things like a little bit more thoroughly.
Well, if you wanted help, dearie, why didn't you just ask?
They look at each other confused again, and then they look back at you and they say, would you not go into the house and not dig around for clues?
Can I try and persuade them to tell me why we want to avoid it?
You just go ahead and ask them.
Well, dear, I need to know why. I mean, I'm just such a huge fan of Victoria Corbett, and there's some very interesting stories about this house, and it just sounds like, well, it's something I've always wanted to do, before my time, and, well, I don't have that many years left after all. I'm no spring chicken.
I twist my boot.
The only thing in that house is death. You are not prepared.
Is he telling the truth? Can I make like a psychology check?
Oh, you may. So that is not psychoanalysis. That's psychiatry. Yeah, it's a psychiatry.
Psychology.
Yes, that too.
Let's try. Yay!
Woo!
He believes every word coming out of his mouth. However, behind that, you see madness and zealotry.
Well, dearie, could you be more specific? Death isn't exactly something I'm terribly afraid of.
Well, Dorothy.
I'm sorry?
I said, well, Dorothy. We've been looking at you for some time. Cormac, Jonathan, and I'm sorry, I don't know you.
You're so mean.
Mavis just waves very sheepishly and very confused and very concerned about what's happening in front of her.
Right. We're going to have to get on that one. We've been following you for a long time. Your destinies are tied together.
So how many of you are there then?
Oh, huge mouths just go over both of their faces. And I'm going to need you guys to roll for not rolling your eyes when they say it. We are legion, for we are many.
I think I could persuade them that I believe them.
Right, I just wanted to make sure you guys didn't roll your eyes all the way back in your head after they said that cliche shit. But yeah, that's exactly what they said.
So you are believer in the Bible instead of the one who waits in the dark.
Oh, yes, who's that?
Your Bible won't protect you. It was written for children. But very soon, this world will mature.
I'm sorry, what was that? The Bible was written for children?
Yes, for the childlike minds seeking to understand this world in the only way they could. You know nothing of the truth.
This...
By the way, you're not the only person who was raised Catholic. There's also a 6'4" man with a beard who was raised Catholic.
And I don't much like being talked down to. Oh. Now, why the hell would I fail that roll? Come on.
You can push that. All right, so we'll say the push here is you can push to try to swing again. The deal here is whether or not Mavis tries to stop you from punching them. So go ahead and roll.
Barely, goddamn. Okay.
All right. So Mavis does raise her hand up to say something, and you punch this guy square in the jaw. And when you punch him in the jaw, one of his teeth comes out, and you notice foam starting to form in his mouth.
Oh, wonderful.
I mean, Dorothy has read a lot of spy novels. I think she would have an inkling of what's happening.
Okay, what does she do?
I think she would try and pull whatever is foaming out of his mouth so he doesn't kill himself.
Okay. What am I gonna have you roll?
For trying to remove food from your dog's mouth.
I guess dexterity?
No. This is technically still medically related. We'll see. Is it more medically related or is it more speed related? Medical speed.
I feel like
it's more
maybe
speed related.
Should it be
It's
a
more speed
survival?
related.
Survival or dex? What do you want?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask for Dex on that one. All right, so you shove your hand into this guy's throat. It looks like you know it's too late to stop him from swallowing it. So instead, you take your two fingers, put them down the back of his throat, depress his tongue, forcing him to vomit. So you turn him on his side, and he does start to vomit. I think he's going to be okay.
As soon as that stuff comes out, she's going to stamp it into the ground.
All right, cool. So, no, he didn't get to kill himself.
My goodness, and you were going to do that without your last rites.
I laugh.
I am already pushed by the one who knows.
Is there someone we can call for you? A wife? Children?
You ask that, and you...
I hear...
I thought it would be closer.
What?
Sorry, what?
Yeah. All right, Cole, keep talking to him.
Are you gonna look? There's so much more to live for, dearie. I mean, there's children, and I would know. Having grandchildren is just the best, and they're so sweet, those little baby cheeks, and of course, you never have to do any of the diapers.
All right, so you hear sirens. I know that's not the sirens I wanted to use, but you hear sirens start to fire up. Apparently, there was some noise made with this little crap.
And shots fired. No big deal.
Yeah. a police car pulls up, and Detective Stone and Brown hop.
Oh, hello! How are you, gentlemen? Yeah, the crazy old lady with her, flowery hat on her head, waving jovially as she stands over a man who just tried to murder himself.
Oh, Miss Dorothy. How are you? Glad to see you in good health.
I am, but this poor gentleman just tried to kill himself. It was awful.
This is
Miss Dorothy, looks to me like you've made some new friends.
Well, you can always make new
Doyle?
friends.
What the hell are you doing in this part of town?
Just out for some fresh air. You know how it is.
Yeah, I know how it is. You responsible for this carnage?
Me? Oh, no.
Well, what happened was, see, they followed us from this church, and there was just this bizarre place, and things were falling, and it was very dirty. And then they followed us, and we found them, and they tried to shoot me. I couldn't believe it. It was just so rude. And so my friend here, Mr. Price, came to my... Was Price did it? What? My friend here came to my rescue, and he shot the tire, and they saved me, and then they had a horrible accident, and I just finished splinting it and kept them from killing themselves, and now you're here.
Detective Brown smiles. This is Detective Brown. He's the nicer one. He says, "Oh, don't worry. Oh, don't worry there. So these guys over here, they shot at you."
Oh yes, the weapons are lying over there. I kicked them away from them.
Oh.
The name is Price. And I hold up my hand because I'm polite.
Yeah. Detective Brown shakes it warmly. Detective Stone, he is still eyeing O'Doyle, and eventually he realizes your hand is out there, and he gives you 5.
He goes in for a high five instead of a handshake.
Well, I must admit this is probably my doing here. These people shot at us while we were just being on our way, and I returned the favor, so yes.
Well, nobody's dead, so I guess no harm, no foul. We'll go ahead and take these 2 mooks in. You guys, why don't you go ahead and keep your noses clean and find better friends.
Oh, Mavis, dearie, could you give these poor gentlemen my phone number? I would love if they would check in with me.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. They're suspects. We won't be able to give them your phone number. It won't exactly be safe.
Well, if you need any further information from us, you can always call my office at the university.
Oh, yeah? Where you go, smart boy? MIT? Boston College?
Well, I'm at the, what is it called again? Miskatonic University.
Oh, Miskatonic. Wow. I have a professor friend who used to work there. He's a cousin of mine. He works at the Boston Globe now.
Oh, what's his name?
Oh, sharks. His name is... He is your friend, by the way. Masters, Eddie.
Oh, that's my friend. We just visited him earlier.
Oh, yeah, it's a cousin of mine. He has a whack job place down there, but I think he's been...
I don't say that. He has his heart in the right place. You should come with us sometime, maybe for a coffee. Or...
Well, that sounds great. Okay, you guys, everybody all right? No scratches? Looks like your car's fine. They didn't manage to shoot
I reload my gun.
Well, look, you guys be safe. Get yourselves on home. And if you need anything, give us a call.
Well, thank you, Detective Brown.
Hey, O'Doyle. I know it's impossible, but can you try to stay out of trouble for maybe, I don't know, 10 hours?
Don't worry, dearie. I'll keep an eye on him.
O'Doyle, this your grandma?
Sir, please don't be disrespectful towards Miss McGee.
Bro, who is this guy? Where do you meet this fruitcake from? Everyone I meet with you. Stone, let's leave these good people alone. Don't forget our cards. Give us a call if you have any trouble. We'll take care of these gentlemen for you.
Appreciate the concern, yeah? Stay out of the donuts, Stone.
Yeah, your mom likes donuts. And he throws the rest of the cigar at your foot. Gives you the little, I got my eyes on you deal.
Okay, I want to go back to my book.
All right, so are you guys going to try to make your way to the house?
Yeah.
All right. You have your book, you're trying to read it, and you guys.
What?
Make your way to the house. Is that black for everybody?
Yes.
Yep. It is for me. Yes.
Good. So, even though it was perfectly clear, it is now about 9 o'clock. You hear some thunder. There's no rain, no wind, so to speak. But you do pull up between several office buildings is an old Victorian house.
Ooh, Mavis, look, isn't it beautiful?
Ooh, it's so pretty. And tries to grab it away from her.
No, Mavis, out at the window, the house, dear.
The house, the book? I wanted to see the book.
No, dear, look out the window. Do you see the house?
Oh. It's creepy as shit. I mean, what do people talk like in 1920?
No. You're perfectly fine. We'll just say that your particular version of senility has you talking like a really futuristic person.
Like a sailor.
She got really into some pirate books lately.
Mavis. You know those detective those novels, by Victoria Corbett?
Yes, dear, I vaguely do.
This is her house.
Why does she live in a creepy place?
I think it's beautiful.
Oh.
Probably looked better when it was tended to.
It has good bones.
Beautiful. Speaking of bones, as she says that, O'Doyle, you notice that this is one of the worst front yards ever. And it's not so much of a front yard as it is a cemetery.
Wonderful.
If it will reveal.
I go looking for my name.
So when we get out
you
of
guys
the...
are going to pull up here.
Where?
Here.
I can. Oh, then.
We'll say there's a fence right here. And a gate right here.
Actually, you know what I'm going to look for? I'm going to look for the headstone of old Mr. Corbin.
Yeah, did he ever get buried in the basement or not?
Yeah, he's like we got that information earlier that he insisted on being buried in the basement.
Well, we saw that there was a lawsuit, but that doesn't mean we know what actually happened.
Right. You do see you do see all sorts of headstones. There are names of Corbin on them, and there are also names of some other people who lived here since then. You do not, however, on a cursory look, see Walter.
Does this look as if it's being digged up recently, or is this...
Sure. Give me a... You know what? I swear this is like probably the most common roll, huh? There's really no other way to not make it that. But yeah, give me a spot hidden on that one.
Okay. I failed.
All right. So you were walking up to see whether or not this was freshly dug, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How familiar with Looney Tunes are you?
Well.
Yeah, you don't see the rake on the ground.
Oh.
And you step on the rake, bringing the stick up towards your face. Give me a dodge.
Oh, that was...
Dodge? Okay. I would push that if I can. Can I?
Oh, all right, so he walks up. He's trying to see whether or not this grave is freshly dug. He steps on the rake, and just like are the Bugs Bunny cartoons yet? Okay, but Buster Keaton, definitely not Buster Keaton.
Can I push that roll and try to...
Yeah, by all means.
Okay, off.
Okay, so you have seen, oh my gosh, Charlie Chaplin. I don't know why I said that, like I was so excited. But you have seen a couple of Charlie Chaplin movies. You step on it and you realize that this rake's about to hit you. And not wanting to deal with the embarrassment of quarterback laughing at you for getting hit in the face with a rake, because you don't think you would hear the end of that. You managed to catch the rake.
Yes.
To answer your question, yes, it does look like this hole was freshly dug. Within the last, well, by freshly you mean within the last month.
The last month.
There's no grass growing in it.
No.
I see. What is this about? Isn't this part of the estate? Shouldn't this be?
What's on the tombstone above it, above the hole? Who should be buried here?
All right. The first question is, yes, this is part of the estate. The second question is, you are looking at this grave marker. Is anybody else looking at this grave marker?
I mean, I am for sure.
I'm looking for the... Yeah, I'm there anyway. So.
All right. You're looking at this grave marker? What about Cormac and Mavis?
Mavis is... She's just all kinds of creeped out.
All right,
so is she like
you see your
staying in
friends
the...
looking at it? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Are
so
you like
staying
staying
in the car?
staying in the car? Or are you like latched on to Dorothy, who's totally cool?
Like at the back of the group, as close to the vehicle as possible.
And Cormac, where are you in all this? Are you looking
I'm
at the
just
grave?
chilling.
All right. So, are you looking at that gravestone though?
I don't think I would be, no.
Okay. So, Dorothy and John.
Yes.
Yes. What was that?
Are you going to make me do a sanity roll?
So both of you start to hear this song play. Jonathan,
Yes.
you are on a boat on your way to France. Yes, France. You're actually being deployed. You remember talking to a young lady, and you were supposed to come back and meet her from the war. You're landing for the first time. One of the young gentlemen is talking about a girlfriend who he had back there and how he can't wait to get done here and get back and try to save her, be with her again. You smile to yourself. You don't have a picture of this young lady, but you're looking at the picture that he has. Flash forward to a little bit, and during a mortar attack, you see one of the shells pierced against the picture of this young lady, blood sprinkled over it, and a very small hand, not a small hand, a left hand still gripping onto the photo. On the other side of it, you see the ring that belonged to this young man. And the amount of blood you see, you realize that whatever severed his hand, he probably didn't survive. Dorothy?
Yeah.
You are dancing with your husband. It's your wedding night. And this is a song which you dance to on the night of your wedding. Your first dance after exchanging your vows in the reception. Your husband leans over, kisses you again, and says, "You just made me the happiest man in the world." You are flying off on your wedding. You see blueprints for the library. He goes to open the door. You're standing with him. And when you go and you reach the door, instead of holding the hand of your husband, you're all alone.
That's very sad.
Snap.
Jonathan, you look at the gravestone, and it has your name on it. Dorothy, you look at the gravestone, and it has your husband's name on it.
I'm starting sweating and step a little bit back from the gravestone. Try to look.
But that's ridiculous. He is not here.
Before you can say that, Cormac and Mavis, I'm not going to ask you to do a spot hidden for this. You notice 4 rats climbing out of the grave towards the feet of your friends. You can see foam out their mouth. It looks like these rats may in fact be rabid.
Wonderful.
And that's where we will end for the day.
Spot hidden roll failed anyway.
So close.
What was the spot hidden for?
Oh, she was trying to see if she could see the rats coming out of a hole.
Oh.
Well, does Cormac see him at least?
Oh yeah, both of them see the rats. You guys have not.
yeah, I'm too disturbed by what happened.
Oh, okay. I understand now.
You still need to roll, I think. I'm not sure.
Davis is like, I just wanted to hang out with my friend.
And Dorothy's like, isn't this fun?
Yeah, I mean, I guess this isn't strictly speaking part of the story, but yeah. This is the first time you guys have seen Dorothy quit smiling in a while, as her eyes literally well up in tears.
Oh.
Yeah, she's pretty chipper. It's hard to make her not smile.
Oh.
All right, guys. So next week, we figure out what we're going to do about those rats, and you guys will be walking into this house with no further interruptions. Any questions, comments, complaints?
Do we need to make a sanity roll still, like, before we finish the session for this?
Holy.
You guys want to do that today? Yeah, let's go
Sure.
ahead and do that right now.
Well,
My first one.
Okay, so
Wow.
we are doing.
Oh, one number.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is the success.
Oh my god.
You said we were doing a sanity roll, right? Because I totally just did.
Yeah.
And then it's a
All right.
D6.
Oh, no, we're not going to go that high this time. We're just going to do a D4 on this one. We'll keep it simple.
Okay.
Oh, no, Mavis, you're good. You don't have to roll sanity. You didn't see any of that.
Good.
Oh,
Which is good because, you know, that's probably why you passed, because you didn't see any of that. All right, so each of you guys lose one sanity on that.
Is 53 a bad sanity number?
It's okay. I mean, it's okay. There's not much you can do about it. Not a lot of people have great sanity to begin with. And one of the main rewards you get at the end of scenarios is you do get bundles of sanity. Instead of like money or equipment or anything, you get sanity.
I mean, my sanity's 37, so.
So should we put that as like an encounter with a strange entity on our list?
I'm not going to decide on whether that counts as that just yet, because right now all you guys did was go to a creepy house, stare into a gravestone, and get reminded of your own mortality. It's not necessarily an encounter with a strange thing yet.
we also got away pretty smoothly with one sanity. Like, that's not too big of a deal, I guess.
Yeah, how did you both roll ones? Good job.
Yes.
You know what? You deserved it, because I was kind of a dick by pulling out the shit they were poor Dorothy.
I know, it's so sad. I mean,
You were
look.
playing the sad song over top of it, but hey, that's good.
I mean, look. You know, you let me skate by without the consequences of a truly spectacularly bad insanity roll.
Yeah, because you were supposed to have a phobia of wind.
Or dreams, or I don't know.
Like you were already screwed from game one. All right, so all you gotta do is beat up some rats, and you guys will be fine. So we will see you here next week. I hope everybody had fun. I definitely have fun running it. How are you feeling, Mavis? Does this look like this is going to work for
There wasn't a whole lot that she could really contribute at this moment. More like, oh, hey, these places.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of fell into the middle of this. Dorothy just drug you out on an adventure. The next part is exploration. So just to catch you up, so here's what happened. Earlier on, there was a gentleman who's trying to sell this house that you guys are at now. He can't because, like, the last 6 families that have been there have all suffered some sort of madness. Do you see the handouts for, like, the newspaper clippings and stuff? those kind of explain what's been going on in the house. At any rate, there's a gentleman who wants to sell the house, and he's offering you guys some money to go and check out whether or not it's haunted or who's responsible for the problems there and to get rid of them. So everyone's here for their own reasons. Jonathan was offered 10% of the selling price. Cormac's boss wants him to purchase the area because it's actually on a part of the land where they would be able to create and sell alcohol legally. Dorothy's kind of here because a gentleman who might help her become a spy mentioned that it would be a good idea to check this place out. So right now you're the only one who's not necessarily driven to do anything here, so you are kind of just with your friend. But that's the reason why everybody else is here.
Okay.
Dorothy would have told you some of this, except of course she wouldn't have told you that Cormac is part of a criminal empire because she doesn't know that.
No, despite the decapitated head that was on the front porch, she does not know that.
Wow.
She doesn't know that he's responsible for that decapitated head either.
I'm a saint. What are you talking about?
Oh, by the way, don't worry. He did not leave the decapitated head on her stairs on purpose.
It does true that.
Did I?
But yeah, that should catch her up on that. That's why you're here. This place originally belonged to like some landowner.
Grand
before
Snoot.
he could get finished. Vandersnoot, yeah. Before he could finish building it, he got sick and died, and Walter Corbett purchased it. So Walter Corbett was the first occupant of this house. And since he died and got sued, no one's really been able to live in the place because something keeps driving them away. So you, just wanting to call your bridge partner, see how your friend was doing, have just been dragged into staying at a haunted house. Congratulations.
Hey. Oh.
Well, I still think the cult is behind all of this, and there's not necessarily something supernatural going on. Well, but now this might have changed since I saw my name on the gravestone, so
Yeah.
see how that works out.
Yeah, but you know, hey, it could be anything, right? It could just be some swamp gas. It could be
It could also be that
dealing with it. Yeah.
it's also, I mean, Price is a pretty common name. That could just be a coincidence.
Exactly. Both of those are common names. It could mean absolutely nothing. I literally went to high school with a Michael Jefferson. So that could totally.
See?
That's true, by the way. I did go to high school for Michael Jefferson, and sadly, the police were always after him. So every once in a while, I got bothered because I had the same full name as this guy. That's not a lie. I wish it was.
Did he look like you?
No, nothing at all.
Huh.
But we both lived in the same neighborhood, and we're both named Michael Jefferson.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That would do it.
Oh, that would do it. There was also a Michael Jefferson who worked at a supermarket that was near where I lived. So it's like I would go into a supermarket with somebody all the time, and it'd be like, Michael Jefferson, please dial 95. Michael Jefferson, please dial 95.
Okay.
That's crazy.